I don't claim to know a lot of things, right? But I do know this one thing. If you seek God with all of your heart, you will find Jesus. I've seen this happen too many times to even come to a place of doubt in it. One of the things with being raised around a religious culture, I was raised in Nigeria, northern Nigeria, where there are other religions, mostly just two religion, Christianity and Islam. And you kind of think that growing up, you kind of think that Christianity is just one of those religion, and because we live in a world that is trying to make peace with people and trying to have people live in a life together, that's not that there's not conflict, because there's already so much conflict in northern Nigeria with religion. So we were just made to think that every religion is the same. They all lead to God, but it's not true. It's not true. And more recently, I've been seeing a lot of testimonies of a lot of people from Satan worshippers to from Islam, even in my church, from people who used to worship idols to finding out that Jesus Christ is Lord, and giving their life to Christ. It's just one one common trait that I see is a heart for God. And I think that is so important because God puts that in us, a heart that seeks God. Human beings are different, such that He has placed eternity in our heart. He knows He put something in our heart that makes us yearn for Him. And it's just our hearts seek for God, just like a fish needs water to survive. We need God. We need God. He has intertwined his being with us. We would live life asking questions if we do not deal with that. I've seen this happen before, where people that I said to about Christ, and they come and they send me messages like years later, like people that I used to pray for, like, oh God, please show yourself to these people. And it touches my heart so much, because it's like, I have tried, I've done my best. Look, this is the truth. But the moment where their heart turned and they just open their heart and they say that, you know what, God, if you're real, show me yourself. And God just reveals himself to them, through the person of Jesus Christ. And I see it happen. I see it happen so much. I've seen people that send a message and say that, I didn't used to take my walk with God seriously. I just thought it was just a religion. But you made me start thinking about it more. You made me start thinking about it more. You made me want to talk to God. You made me want to find out. And it just so blesses my heart. But the point is, if you get to a point where you seek who is this God, He will reveal himself to you through the person of Jesus Christ. And I used to attend a discipleship class back in House on the Rock, Kano, which was one of the best things that happened to me after being saved in Koinonia Zaria. Then one our teacher then used to give this illustration, which is quite extreme, but I get it now. It said, if you believe with all of your heart that you're seeking God, and you are seeking Him with all your heart, and your religion tells you that the way to get to God is banging your head on the wall, like keep banging your head on the wall, and you believe with all of your heart that banging your head on the wall is an act that is getting you closer to God, and you believe with all of your heart that you are seeking this one true God through that act, God in His mercy will come and point you to Jesus. Religion, as it is just man's fabrication to try to connect with God. But God, in His mercy, already came down on earth to connect with us through Jesus Christ. And we can try to connect with Him with the things that we do. And God, in His mercy, has planted people, has planted messages like this, people around the world that He uses to point people to Jesus. I find that what is missing most times with people, and why they do not see the revealed God as Jesus Christ, is just that pride. There's this pride in your heart that it's like, I've known this religion. What makes me think that this, with the history of how this religion came to be, or with these people, how they lived, what makes them think that they have the truth? It's not them. It's not about us. It's about the message of Christ. It's about this message. This overwhelming message. I heard a story back when I was in Nigeria of like how Christianity came into Nigeria. We know the missionaries came in and all, but before Nigerians accepted before Nigerians accepted these missionaries, we were like we were idol worshippers of some sort. We would communicate with our ancestors and stuff, spiritualism and all of that. And so one of these guys were, doing their thing, worshiping their ancestors and whatnot, and then they get a revelation that um he is sending the gods that they speak to give them revelation that he is sending people. He's sending people to them, and these people have the truth, and they should listen to them. And he told them the direction they should go to go welcome them. And turns out, and they go to that direction to go, and they meet the missionaries, and they accept the missionaries, and then the gospel start to prevail in Nigeria. Um, I hear that story, and there's also something similar that happened in Hawaii, I believe. And there was this prophet, I believe. The prophet had this prophecy that this pale skinned person is going to come one day, and he's going to come with a box, and inside that box is going to be the key to life, the key to eternal life, if I remember clearly. And then years later, we had the missionaries come into Hawaii at that point, which were white men, pale skin, and they had a box, and inside the box was a Bible. So we see things like this. It's God in His mercy trying to reach out to His people. Is this book my pastor gave me a while ago, Eternity in Their Heart, which had different stories like this of how God reached people, of how God was planting seeds of his existence, of Jesus Christ, to people who, even before the missionaries came in. I find that people's heart are not just open to receive this message just because if we have a preconceived idea. We have things that we want. We don't believe things to be true because of the way we see life. More recently, I've meeting a lot of these. I don't. There's Black Jewish people. I don't know what best to call them. There are a lot of people that they stay in the streets. They talk about the hatred for the white man, and they talk about how they are the real Jews. They talk about how um, Christians believe in Jesus Christ, but they're not following his word because Jesus says you should follow the law. And they preach about how being a true Christian and follower of Christ means that you should live through all the laws. And I don't know why I always meet these people, but I have conversations with them and sometimes, and I just see how flawed the mindset is. And if you listen deeply, you can see it comes with a hatred for the race, for the white race, for and which some might say is legitimate because of the past that they had, with slavery and all that. But they've taken that view and they've capitalized on it. They've built something on it, and it's just crazy. Because of that hatred, it has created a stronghold that even though they read the same Bible that I read, their heart is not open to see God for who He is. They have an agenda. When you go to the Bible with an agenda, you go to the Bible to prove that I, as a black man, I am supreme to every other race, and because Adam was a black man and because Jesus Christ was black. And I find that a lot with a lot of black folks. It's like we have a habit of putting our race even before kingdom. I notice it even like with the churches, with the church that we pick. I feel like a lot of us even in this part of a lot of us even in this part of the country, our heart is not open to even being in the right place where God has placed us because we we see we see life through a lens of race. You walk into a church and you see just like white folks and you're like, not for me. It's like, and they just walk out. It's like, I cannot be in a church where I don't see people that look like me. And it makes no sense. How you wouldn't even let God to place you where He wants you. He places us in the body where we're supposed to be. It's sad because you're putting your race before kingdom, and it can happen both ways, right? It's not just one sided. I know people who can't listen to a certain race of preachers because they're like, oh, the gospel here is too soft. Or the gospel here is too hard. Like, I want something soft. It's like God says, if you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. If you seek me with all of your heart, you will find me. He will reveal himself to you. And I think we need to get to that place of brokenness where we just, God, reveal yourself to me. And I'm telling you, he will reveal himself to you through the person of Jesus Christ. This is one of those videos where I just ramble some of the things that are in my head. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.